Hello guys, it's your brother Thomas here. As usual, I do these videos for all drivers and to ensure safety on our roads. Today I'm talking about speed limits. According to the Driving Standards Agency, all roads have got speed limits. We should be aware of these speed limits and try to drive accordingly. When you are driving, you'd see signs such as 20 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, and 70 miles per hour written on signs along the road. These signs are to guide you on how to drive. They are not targets that you should try to achieve, but they are supposed to be a guide to you. And while you are trying to stick to them, you should also bear in mind the conditions of the road. Speed limits are actually there for a reason, and they help for the flow of traffic. According to the Driving Standards Agency, the speed limits for all cars on a built-up area, such as a residential area, should be 30 miles per hour, which is translated as 48 kilometers per hour. Speed limits for cars on a single carriage is actually 60 miles per hour, which is translated as 98 kilometers per hour. Speed limits on a single carriage is actually what I've just mentioned, and we should bear in mind some single carriages have got 2 lanes as it is on the screen. What we should also bear in mind is that dual carriages have got speed limits up to 70 miles per hour, just the same as it is on the motorway. But just because you see a double carriage does not necessarily mean that the speed limit on it is 70. You should bear in mind, if it's in a built area, if it's in a residential area, the speed limit for that dual carriage is actually 30. Very often, if it's different from 30, you're likely to see the sign written, such as 40 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour accordingly. One thing we should also bear in mind is what the DVLA calls the National Speed Limit sign. It's actually a plain white sign with a shaded area across the middle, as it is on the screen. When you see these signs, you should bear in mind that they are telling you to stick to the speed limits. They might not necessarily be showing a sign of 20 or 30 or 40 or 70, as sometimes we are lucky to see. But once you see these signs, you should bear in mind that if it's a built area, if it's a residential area, then it's a 30 miles per hour. If it's actually a single carriage without any built area around it, then the speed mile for that road is a 60 miles per hour, which is translated as 98 kilometers per hour. If it's a double carriage or a motorway, then you should see that road as a 70 miles per hour road, which is translated as 112 kilometers per hour. I'm sure these simple rules, if they are followed, will be able to save a lot of lives and to ensure safety on our roads. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you some other time. Thank you. Bye.